This week, we'll take a look at an introduction to the New Testament. Some people use pictures and words to make scrapbooks about things they want to remember. Maybe you have a baby book with words and pictures. It tells about your birth or adoption and the first years of your life. Or instead of a baby book, you might have a file on the family computer with all kinds of pictures. The stories in the first 4 books in this section of our Bible are like a big album full of pictures. Each story adds a picture that tells us about Jesus, how he lived, what he taught, and what we need to remember. The stories in the first 4 books were written by Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Each of them wrote in their own way to tell their stories about Jesus. You'll hear stories about how Jesus used parables to teach about God. And there are stories about how he healed people with his words and his touch. When Jesus taught and when he healed people, he wanted them to think about how they could live with one another. Jesus met a lot of interesting people. Peter, Mary and Martha, Joanna and Susanna, and Zacchaeus. And there are stories about some people whose names we don't even know. Each person was different after meeting Jesus. After Jesus died and was alive again, he left the earth, and everyone who knew him had to decide how to start all over again, living the way Jesus taught. Luke also wrote another book. It's called the Acts of the Apostles. It tells stories about the beginnings of the church. Here you'll meet people like Philip and Paul, Tabitha, Lydia, and Timothy. As you hear their stories, think about how those people are like people you know in your church. The New Testament also has many letters that people wrote to the churches and to individual people as the church was just getting started. These letters reminded these very first Christians how they were to live together, how they were to treat other people, and how they were to love like Jesus. What pictures of Jesus in the church do you want to remember? How will those pictures and stories help you remember how Jesus wants you to live in this world?